Welcome to The Explainer. We have all been there, right? That initial burst of motivation for a new goal. Joining a gym, picking up an instrument, waking up just a little bit earlier. For that first week or two, you feel like you can do anything. But then, it just kind of fizzles out. Well, today, we're not just going to talk about why that happens. We're going to give you 3 super powerful strategies to build habits that actually last.
So, what is the deal? It feels like it happens to everyone. You get the brand new running shoes, you download the app, you set that super early alarm. And for a little while, it feels amazing. You're actually doing it. But then, life happens. A crazy week at work, you get sick, or you just have a bad day and you have zero energy. You tell yourself, I'll just skip today. But one day turns into 2, and before you know it, getting back on track feels impossible. It's this super frustrating cycle, and it can really make you feel like you just don't have enough discipline.
But here's the secret, and this is really important. The problem isn't you. It's not some kind of character flaw or a lack of willpower. It's just a bad strategy. See, you've been trying to force it when what you really needed was a good game plan. Building good habits is a skill, and just like any other skill, you can learn it. And today, we're going to build that toolkit together. Okay, our first strategy is the foundation. You can think of it as your habit insurance policy. So often, we go into this with an all-or-nothing attitude, which, let's be honest, just sets us up for failure. This first rule is all about building a system that expects and even allows for the one thing that is absolutely going to happen. You're not going to be perfect. This is called the 2-day rule, and it is beautifully simple. Just never miss twice. Look, life is going to get in the way. You'll have days where you're sick, you're traveling, or you're just totally wiped out. That's okay. Missing one day is just an accident. It's a blip. But missing 2 days in a row? That's different. That's where the momentum dies. That's the point where your brain starts thinking, oh, okay, I guess this is the new pattern, and you start building a new, unwanted habit of not doing the thing. Let's just walk through what this looks like. You're crushing it on Monday and Tuesday, but then Wednesday is just a mess and you miss your workout. The perfectionist in you might start saying, well, the whole week is shot, I'll just start over again next Monday. No, that is a trap. With the 2-day rule, your focus completely changes. Missing Wednesday doesn't really matter. What matters is what do you do on Thursday? Your number one job is just to get back on track, even if it's a shorter or easier version of your habit. You're not aiming for a perfect record. You're just trying to keep the streak alive. And that simple idea completely changes the game. See, the goal is not some perfect, unbroken chain. That's not realistic and it's super fragile. The real goal is just being consistent over the long run. This rule gives you permission to be human. It gets rid of all that guilt and shame that usually makes us quit for good when we miss a day. The real victory isn't being perfect. It's having the resilience to get right back to it after you stumble. Okay, let's dive into our second rule. So if the 2-day rule is your safety net, this next one is your launch pad. It is a brilliant, brilliant way to weave a new habit into the life you're already living, making it feel automatic almost right away. This strategy is called habit stacking. And the logic behind it is just so smart. Instead of trying to force a new behavior out of thin air, you just attach it to something that's already wired into your brain. I mean, think about it. You don't need a reminder to brush your teeth or make your morning coffee, right? Those things are on autopilot. By linking your new habit to one of those routines, you're basically hijacking that automatic momentum. You're not depending on willpower, you're just using a path that's already there. So the formula is super straightforward. After I do my current habit, I will do my new habit. The real key is to make that connection instant and obvious. For example, after my coffee is done brewing, I will do 10 push-ups. Or after I take off my shoes from work, I will immediately change into my gym clothes. And notice how small and specific these are. The goal isn't to go from 0 to running a 5K. It's just to build that initial connection. After I brush my teeth, I will floss 1 tooth. I know, it sounds almost silly, but you're not trying to get the big result yet. You're just making the starting part automatic. So just take a second and think about your own day. What's a solid, absolute routine that you already have? Brewing coffee, tying your shoes, brushing your teeth? That right there, that's your anchor. Find it and attach your new habit right to it. Okay, on to our final rule. And this one is probably the most powerful of all. The first 2 rules gave you the how, but this one gives you the deep down why. It's about a massive mental shift that makes your habits a part of who you are, not just something you do. This quote just says it all. We usually focus on the outcome. I want to lose 20 pounds. I want to write a novel. But those are finish lines. The real change happens when you focus on your identity. The goal isn't to read one book. The goal is to become a reader.
It's such a subtle shift, but it changes everything, from a temporary task to a permanent part of who you are. And this chart just lays it out perfectly. On the left, you have an outcome: run a marathon. A lot of people train for it, they do it, and then they stop running. The goal's done, so the motivation is gone. But on the right, you have an identity: being a runner. A runner doesn't just stop after one race. Being a runner helps them make daily choices. What would a runner do today? Well, they'd probably go for a quick jog, even if they're tired. That identity becomes your guide, your North Star for how to act.
Think about it like this. Every single action you take is like a vote for the type of person you want to become. You don't just wake up one morning and decide you're a writer. No, you earn that title with small, consistent actions. Every time you write even one paragraph, you're casting a vote for I am a writer. Every time you pick water instead of soda, you're casting a vote for I am a healthy person. Your habits are literally the proof you give yourself about who you really are.
All right, let's bring it all home. We've talked about 3 separate rules, but their real magic happens when you see them as a complete system. This isn't just a list of tips. It's a whole toolkit for building habits that actually stick around.
So you start with your North Star, your identity. Who do you want to be? A musician? A healthy person? An artist? Once you know that, you use habit stacking as your anchor, linking those small identity-building actions to your daily routine. And the whole time, you have the 2-day rule as your safety net, giving you the freedom to keep going even when life gets in the way. This whole system, a clear direction, an easy way to start, and a plan for when you mess up, is what makes consistency feel not just possible, but pretty much inevitable.
So in the end, it really all comes down to this one question. Don't start by asking what you want to achieve. Start by asking who you want to become. Because once you have that answer, you can use these tools to build the daily habits that will cast the votes, prove it to yourself, and turn that identity into your reality.